Let's take a look at the background and the reason that you're studying FAC1502. What is the purpose of your subject and what is the purpose of your FAC studies from here? It's very important to know why you're doing this. It's very important to know why you're studying something before you get into the detail and the formulae and the formats and the calculations and you lose yourself in all that stuff you have to remember and you have to learn. Make sure you really can visualize why you're actually doing this and why it's important for you to know that. So let's start by taking a look at that. One of the things we do here is highlight the importance of financial information. The more you understand what we use financial information for and why it's so important, we start realizing why we really need to make sure that we know what to do with it and how to calculate it and what it must look like. So what we're going to be looking at and what we're focusing on here is teaching you how and the processes to follow when you are creating financial information. If you're running a business, if it's just you yourself, how do you create the financial information? And the other thing is, how do you prepare financial statements for other people to use? So how do you report the information that you've created? On the one hand, we have the generating of the information. You start from scratch and you build the information. And the next thing we have is how do you show it to other people? So that's what we're going to be looking at. If we look at why it's important to learn how to create financial information, probably the simplest thing or the best thing I can say is imagine that you're running a company. Imagine that your company is manufacturing and selling jeans. This is what you do. So every year you're manufacturing jeans, you're selling them, and hopefully you're making a profit, hopefully you're making some money. And these are just some visuals of some of the costs and some of the things that's going to happen in your business. Obviously, you're selling items, so you're going to have sales all the time. Perhaps you have discounts, you have a whole bunch of people coming in. Some months you have great sales, some months maybe you don't have great sales. You've got people paying by credit card, maybe people have an account with you so that they don't pay you straight away. You have to pay tax to the receiver as well. You've got staff that you need to pay. You have salaries, wages that you need to pay every week, salaries you pay every month. You've got raw material in order to make and sell your jeans. You actually need to buy the denim. You've got other costs as well, costs of your cotton and other little costs, telephone, stationery, insurance, whatever. And all in the middle, you're standing there either handing out money to pay for all these costs or taking in money to pay for all these sales. And when we look at these, we realize how important it is to make sure that we create some kind of order out of the chaos that we're looking in. We want to make sure we create some kind of order out of this so that we know how much you're actually making. How much is this business worth to you? How many sales are you actually making? And does your sales actually cover the costs that you've spent? And are you getting the money back from the people that are taking stuff from you? Are you paying the right amount of tax, for example, is going to be very difficult if the receiver realizes you're not paying him his tax. What about your staff? Are you paying them properly? Are you deducting tax from them? There's so much financial stuff going on in your business. We need to make sure that you have the tools and you know how to deal with this and you know exactly what's going on and you can keep track of all of this. You don't want to forget about any of these. So creating financial information is about taking the stuff that happens every day in your business and creating a rand value for that and saying, I'm going to keep this, I'm going to track it, I'm going to record it, and obviously we're going to get into all of that a little bit later. We need to make sure that the information is accurate and consistent. If you're doing the same thing every month, you must record it the same way every month so that it can be consistent and you know that it's accurate. One day when you run your own business or you're running someone else's business, whatever you're doing, even if you're not going to be a financial accounting, it's really important that you know the controls and that you can see errors in your own business. If you work for someone else, if you have your own business, even if you work in other departments one day and you're not working in the finance department, you're in marketing or you're management, you're here, you're there. You need to understand how financial information is created because at the end of the day, it's all about the money. And if you can't interpret financial information, if you can't read it, you don't know what it means, you don't know what could have gone wrong with it, you always stand to lose your money. And we want to make sure that that's not going to happen for you. How to prepare financial information or financial statements is a little bit different. If we take this picture again, we said we've created rand values, or we should know what's going on. So you have rand values all over the show. Everything and all little bits and pieces that are happening and going in and out have rand values, and we need to make sure that we keep track of them. So we've created financial information. But if someone comes along and says to me, I want to buy a part of your business, or I want to sell stuff to you, I want to buy stuff from you, I want to work for you, I want to give you a loan. If someone comes in and says to us, I need information from you, how are we going to show them? Do I want to give them a picture and go, well, this is how many sales we have. Do I want to show them all my books? Wouldn't it be better if I could just give them one set of information, a report that shows them everything that's going on? Obviously, this makes sense. And this is our financial statement. So we collect all the information, we put it in one report, and we say, here it is. And that means that we have a set of information that is clear, it's concise, it's true, it's brief, and everybody knows what they're going to get out of it. People make decisions based on the information that they see. So you give them the report and you say, based on what's in there, don't you want to give me a loan? Don't you want to buy my business? Consistent, accurate information makes for better decisions. The more the information in there is going to be good, the better the decisions that people are going to come with. And by you knowing how the information is prepared, it's going to be better for you in your personal capacity to analyze financials in the future. One day when it's you buying companies or it's you giving people loans, you're going to want to see their financials before you actually consider giving them a loan. So when we look at what we're going to get out of FAC 1502, part of what you're going to study is about creating financial information, making sure that you understand how to calculate stuff, how to record it, what you should be looking at. And the other half of what you're going to be doing is about how to report that to other people. If the bank comes in, what do you show them? How do you give it to them? What format do you give it to them? So in some cases, in some way, you can kind of split this module in half. Half of it is about creating information and half of it is about reporting that information to others.